We're going to start our healthy key lime pie bars by first making our crust using 1 cup of flour swap, 1/2 cup of granular sugar swap, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Mix together until well incorporated by adding 1/2 cup of room temperature well stirred butter swap. If you're having trouble mixing your butter swap, throw the whole jar into a high-speed blender and blend for a few seconds. It'll stay nice and creamy and be a lot easier to work with. We're going to mix in our butter swap until we get a nice crumbly consistency. If you need to add a little bit of hot water, you definitely can. We want it to stick together when it's pressed, but we don't want it to be wet. If it's easier, feel free to use some clean hands to get everything nice and incorporated. We're going to add just 1 teaspoon of water. Now we have a nice, perfect consistency here. It stays together when we press it, but remains nice and crumbly. Next, we're going to put parchment paper on top of a 9x9 pan and dump in all of our crust. We want a nice, even, thin layer, so go ahead and spread it out and push it down so it covers the pan evenly. Our oven is heated to 325 degrees, and we're going to par bake the crust for about 6 to 8 minutes, watching it closely until it barely gets golden in color. We did the same process with our whole grain flour swap. We're going to add just a little bit of water here. 1 to 2 teaspoons should be plenty. Now we're going to press this into our pan and bake the same, about 6 to 8 minutes. The key lime pie filling is going to be nice and easy. We're going to throw all of the ingredients in a high-speed blender. We have 3/4 cups of fresh key lime juice. You can certainly use regular lime juice here, it just won't be as tangy. Then we have 1 cup of unsweetened yogurt. We're using a high-protein Greek yogurt here, but you can also use a non-dairy yogurt to keep this dairy-free. We're going to use the zest of 2 fresh limes. Make sure you buy unwaxed organic limes to avoid unwanted wax and pesticides. Next, we have a peeled, ripe avocado, about a small to medium-sized one. It adds some healthy fat and the nice, rich and creamy color that we're used to with a key lime pie. Finally, we have 1 cup of our granular sugar swap. I love vanilla, so I'm putting a little bit of vanilla extract, anywhere from 1 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon. 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, and 6 tablespoons of flour swap. Now we're going to blend this on high until we get a nice, smooth, creamy filling. I did end up having to switch to my Vitamix because my NutriBullet wasn't getting it quite creamy enough. You want to blend until there are no lumps and it doesn't feel grainy. I'm going to pour the mixture onto our par-baked crust, then just smooth the filling out. Our bars are ready to bake, putting them in a 325-degree oven for somewhere between 40 to 45 minutes. Okay, my bars are cooked for about 40 minutes and they were perfect and set up beautifully. Now we're just going to slice. They'll firm up even more in the refrigerator, but you can see they're so pretty and so good. Here we've got our grain-free bars. These are going to be the Keto Paleo version, so the lowest carb version. They're cutting up beautifully and have a little bit more of a bright green color, but pretty similar to the whole grain version. Top these with some coconut whipped cream or some Greek yogurt and you have the perfect dessert.